And we're back. Now, here's my flour. Waiting for the starter. You'll notice we have a silicone spatula now. This is the rest, about 200 grams. After having recharged our starter, given it feeding. And it's been sitting on the counter here warm, getting loose, using itself up, growing a little bit more. That's all good. Want to get as much of that stuff off as I can. I'm going to add a little bowl of water to the counter here. I like to use filtered water. I'm feeding myself with this. And the job of pulling it together begins. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this ball of dough, we're going to turn all that starter into the middle and just kind of poke holes into it. It gets all mixed together. And once it's well mixed, we're going to do a little kneading. As some people call this is kneading, essentially, pulling it and folding it over. Some people say this is how you knead a no knead, but then it's not really no knead. Stretch and folds are a form of kneading as well, right? So it's becoming a bit of a mass now. More homogeneous. I'll wet my hand a little. Things will release a little bit better. I don't want to add too much water, same as I don't want to add more flour. It's a little bit of work, but you can't really call it hard work. Already it's getting a little elasticy, which is good news. That portion there is still sticky and hasn't begun to develop well yet. At a given point, I'm going to put this on the counter and I'll work it on the counter instead of in the bowl. And that point may well be coming pretty soon. So this is in real time. You actually see what you have to do in real time to get where we want to be, and that's to a nice loaf of bread. It may be a little bit more difficult for you initially. It took me a while to get comfortable with this technique. I tried that slap the counter nonsense and all that, but you don't need to, not generally. I'm going to wash this off and come back, and we'll continue with this. In the meantime, I'm just going to pull it together a little, so I leave it as a nice tight ball. And you'll notice it's sticking a bit to the hands, and the same will happen to you. And it'll be worse in the beginning until you get more comfortable with it and apply a lighter touch, and just like that. We'll be back. Okay, so I've taken about 4 minutes and I washed all my tools except the scraper, which is ongoing, and perhaps I should have. And I put away the tools that I don't need. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this and let it go for its first of 3 rests. It's already getting nice and firm. And I'm just going to stretch it out, a small stretch, and pull it together like this. I'm pulling with my fingers a bit in the bottom. A little pushing it underneath. And I'm going to wipe up around there and leave it like that. We're going to leave it like this for about a half hour. Then we're going to come and we're going to do a proper stretch and fold. We'll see you in about a half hour.